Hi New Wine Youth, how are you guys? Here's a question. Have you ever heard of Sabbath? Sabbath maybe sounds something really boring and ancient, belongs in an old RE lesson, but it really helps me draw closer to God. So if you can remember that RE lesson, you'll know that Sabbath used to be something that Jews had to be practiced by law. They weren't allowed to do any work on a Saturday. For us, it isn't a law and it isn't legalistic, but it is great. Sabbath is all about experiencing for real Jesus's joy and rest. So today we're going to be thinking about how on Sabbath you can stop, rest, delight in the world around you, and worship God. Okay, so first of all, let's think about how we can stop. Also, if this feels like taking a whole day to do this is too much of a commitment for you practically in your situation right now, then start small. Maybe you work a part-time job on the Saturdays, but after church on Sunday, your Sunday afternoons are usually free. Make these your few Sabbath hours. It doesn't have to be a whole day if that doesn't suit you. So now let's think about all of your usual commitments, things you have to do on the weekend and after school, whether that's homework, chores, walking the dog, or a part-time job. Can you practically do as few or little of those things as possible on the weekend if they don't bring you joy? This is the fun bit. Let's think about how we can rest in God on our Sabbath. So imagine your perfect ideal day. If there was nothing in your way, what would it look like? If you're more extroverted, it probably looks like hanging out with your friends for quite a lot of the day. And if you're more introverted like me, then it probably looks a lot more like spending more time on your own. Think about all the hobbies you love to do but don't always find the time for, whether that's anything from baking, painting, walking your dog, or even running or going to the gym if you're absolutely nuts. How can you do as many of those things as possible on Sabbath? If it brings you joy, do it on Sabbath. So now that on our Sabbath we have stopped and we're resting in God's goodness, it's so easy, it's so much easier for me to be able to delight and notice all of the amazing joys and beauty in my life, all of the ways God is so good to me, in the small ways and the big ways. And then once I'm able to delight in God, it's so much easier and natural for me to worship God. So this is how Sabbath brings me closer to God each weekend. Stay tuned for this evening when Dorit's going to talk a bit more about Sabbath.